All right, guys. Section 5.4 is all about dividing polynomials. I've kind of talked a little bit about this to you guys already. We're going to do long division today. Yeah, we're going to start with basic numbers with long division. We're going to do long division with polynomials, and then we're going to learn tomorrow synthetic division. Sure, we can go with it's fake. I like synthetic division. You just can't use it for everything. Because you can, it won't do it. Because it won't do it for you. All right, so here we go. We're going to learn long division today. But before I teach you long division, like with polynomials, maybe we should review regular numbers. All right. I'm going to go through this with process-wise, okay? I'm going through this so you can learn the process. That way we can actually kind of apply that then to everything else. So when you're looking at long division, you're looking at how many times does 3 go into 6? Twice. So with the 2 up top, and then do you know what I'm going to do with the 2? You multiply. 2 times 3 is 6, and then what would you do? You subtract. So that's 0. You started from the what? Yeah, don't do that. All right, guys, let me keep going, okay? And then we bring down the next number, and we're going to start again, okay? I just noticed my multiplying sign at my angle looks like a plus sign otherwise. Sorry. Yes. Yep. So then how many times does 3 go into 7? Twice. You can bring down the 2 if you want, but I'm just going to bring down the 7. All right. So it goes in twice, and then we're going to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6, and then you will subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. And we're going to bring down the 2, and the process starts over. How many times does 3 go into 12? 4. You will multiply 3 times 4 and subtract 0. Nothing else to bring down. I am done. 672 divided by 3 is 224. You're right, a calculator could do that, but I need to make sure we know the process today with this so then I can teach you the same process with polynomials. I find that hard to believe. All right, so let's look at the next one. Does 4 go into 1? No. So then let's look at 12. How many times does 4 go into 12? 3. We will multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we subtract. And that's 0. Bring down the next number. How many times does 4 go into 5? Put the 1 up. And then we multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. And then we subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the next number. We start again. How many times does 4 go into 13? 3. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we subtract. We get 1. Bring down the next number. 6. So now it starts over. How many times does 4 go into 16? 4. Multiply. 4 times 4. And then we subtract. 0. Bring down the next number. 3. How many times does 4 go into 3? 0. Multiply. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract. 3. Bring down the 5. How many times does 4 go into 35? 8. Multiply. 8 times 4. Subtract. We have a remainder of 3. What do you do with the remainder? Don't do the R thing. What'd you say, Seth? Yes, thank you. Your remainder is 3, and we put that over whatever it was you were dividing by. Yeah, I hate that they even teach that. No, not 0.75. It makes no sense when you're. That's just a dumb argument. Yeah. Right. All right, but what I wanted you to get from this was the process. You look at how many times it goes into the number, right? Put that up top. You will multiply, write it down, and then you subtract, bring down the next part, and it starts again, right? That's the process I want us to see. Because we're going to look at it now with x's in it. I knew you'd be excited. All right, so let's rewrite this. So 6x squared plus 7x plus 2 divided by 2x plus 1. We're going to use that same process, okay? So when we're starting this, I only am looking at the first term out here and the first term in here. That's what we look at each time. We will use everything, but just kind of hang with me for a minute. Can we do that? Is it a quick, easy question? Okay. Okay. Let me get through one, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay? So what do you multiply 2x by to make 6x squared? 3x. So that's what we write up top. What was our next process before? You multiplied. So I have to distribute to both parts. This is where that other part actually comes into play. Okay? So 3x times 6x times 2x is 6x squared. And then 3x times 1 is 3x. What was your next step? Now be careful. Subtract. If you're subtracting, bless you, a whole quantity, what happens to all the signs inside of there? They all change. So this changes to a minus. That one's going to change to a minus. Because if I ask you to subtract 6x squared plus 3x, what would you do with that subtraction sign? You would distribute it. So it changes all your signs. I will beat it into your head. You won't forget it. I know what people forget, and that's it, so I'm going to beat it into your head. All right, so next thing, right here, guys, at this step, if this does not cancel, you did something wrong, okay? Because it should. That was your whole goal, is to multiply it to try to get that first term to cancel out. And then 7x minus 3x is 4x. I'm going to bring down. Some people bring down just one piece. I'm afraid I'm going to lose things. So if there's like more stuff, I usually bring everything down with me just so it keeps following me down. Yes?
So what if your term without the x
Mm-hmm.
was higher enough,
Mm-hmm.
was 4x. What if 3x was 3x was greater than 7x?
Then you'd have a negative number.
So
And then you'd have to multiply by a negative something. Hang with me. It'll come up. I promise. It'll come up. We start over again now, right? Start the process over. What do you multiply 2x by to get 4x? Just 2. A positive 2. Yes. So plus 2 goes up there. And then we will distribute 2 times 2x. And then 2 times 1 is 2. And then our next step is to subtract, or in other words, I'm going to, instead of saying subtract, I'm going to tell you to change your signs. It is subtracting, but that's how we change our signs. So that cancels. And this cancels. My remainder is nothing. So here we go. I want you to realize what you just did. You kind of just factored. 2x plus 1, what you were dividing by, if you would multiply that by 3x plus 2, you'd get that. Here's what was given to you. Here's your answer. Those two things, if you'd multiply them, it's factored form of this.
So we did unfactor.
You factored it?
Defect.
It's like I gave you one factor and you found the other one. Now, if there's a remainder, then it wasn't a factorable. Oh, yeah, eventually, yeah. You're with it, yeah. We're practicing long division today, though. That's our goal. All right, so here we go. Same idea. Let's go ahead and write it out. So x cubed plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. Oh, you're making like a radical instead? All right, so again, first start this. What do you multiply x by to get x cubed? X squared. And then we're going to distribute x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2x. Okay, what's your next step? Change your signs. Change your signs. This is a problem. This is cancels. What's 5x squared plus 2x squared? Okay. I'm going to bring down everything else. I just don't want to lose anything. I'm going to just bring it all down as I go. You with me, Jared? You all right? And then the process starts again. Correct. What do you multiply x by to get 7x squared? A positive 7x. We'll distribute 7x times x, 7x squared. 7x times negative 2, negative 14x. And then I have to change your signs. So that cancels. 7x plus 2. All right, that comes down. And we got to start again. What do you multiply x by to get 7x? 7. Positive 7. 7 times x. 7 times negative 2. Negative 14. Then change your signs. Cancels. 16. Nothing else to bring down. Can I multiply x by something to get 16? No. Always double check. Sometimes you think you're done and you actually kind of go one more time around. But I can't multiply x to make just 16. So I am done. So what do we do with our remainders? It'd be plus 16 over x minus 2. So could you have factored this problem? No. So is x minus 2 a factor of that? No. You got a remainder. You did not divide nicely. How are we feeling about long division so far? This went by too fast? I went too fast on this problem? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll go slower. Okay, just say something. If I go too fast, I'll slow down. Let's try the next one. See, I thought you guys would like it better stapled on that side. No?
No, it's my OCD. This messes with my brain.
That's why I thought that would make more sense to you guys. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I thought it would help. I was wrong.
Let's think about it. Who really puts all the papers in the binder?
All right. We'll go nice and slow through this one. Notice this one I'm dividing by a trinomial. It's got 3 terms going on in there. Yeah, this one takes a while.
Oh, this one's gonna have a remainder then.
I don't know.
Yeah, just
We'll go nice and slow. What do you multiply x squared by to get 3x to the fourth? 3x squared. All right, and then what do we do next? Multiply. We have to distribute this, right? 3x squared times x squared. 3x to the fourth. 3x squared times negative 3x. 3x squared times 5. Now we change our signs. Bree just noticed something. You're right. Huh? Yeah, they just all come down with you. So your 3x to the fourths, gone. Negative 5x cubed plus 9x cubed. 4x cubed. Be very careful. Right here is where a lot of people get tripped up. Yeah, these are not like terms. A lot of people are just like, oh yeah, they're in a row and they just start put them together. Be careful because those are not. So minus 15x squared plus 4x minus 6. When we get talking about synthetic division, the fact that you were missing a term, it went fourth to the third to the first, you're missing the x squared, you'd have to recognize that in synthetic. And you'd have to put a 0 in its place. It's like a little placeholder. Here you don't really have to. You just got to be careful when you put your like terms together. But in synthetic, you have to. Synthetic? It's fun. Mm-hmm. So you're ready to go. Awesome. It's not hard. I like it. That's all right. Do you have a question? Or no? Okay. All right. You ready? You guys ready? All right. So next, what do you multiply x squared to get 4x cubed? 4x. My brain was like, yeah, that's right. All right. So then what? Multiply. 4x times x squared. 4x times negative 3x. 4x times 5. Then what? Change your signs. No. 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 Every year I have students ask if they can do that, and what happens is they mess them up. So could you? Sure. Do I recommend it? No. I'll be honest, even I don't. I change them afterwards. And I do a lot of stuff in my head and mentally, and I still don't. I change them afterwards. All right, here we go. This will cancel. What do we have next? Negative 3x squared minus 16x. That is a weird looking 6. Minus 6. I know, I'm like, yeah, that's not right. All right, can I keep going? What do you multiply x squared by to get negative 3? So there was that question you were asking me, Alex. Just need a negative 3 up here. And then we multiply. Negative 3 times x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3x. Positive 9x. Negative 3 times 5. Negative 15. Change your signs. This cancels. Negative 25x plus 9. Can I keep going? Can I multiply x squared to get that? That's my remainder. Yep, so plus, what do I got going on there? No. 25x plus 9. No. And hold on, I'll explain why. All right. The question was, can he just write, instead of plus my remainder, could he write minus And then 25x plus 9. If you write it this way, this negative is going to make this a negative 25x, and that'll make that a negative 9. Because it's like that minus is in front of the whole thing, so it would swap all your signs. So yeah, it has to be the plus there. If you want to write minus, then you have to change that and change that one, which seems like a lot more work. Yes?
Is there any way you can simplify that fraction?
Nope.
Nope. Just gonna stay like that.
Yep. That is a good thing, though. That fraction will never simplify. Because you did all this work. If it would have, you would have done it there. So you don't have to worry about simplifying that. You all right, Fallon? Was that pace better? All right, here we go, guys. Let's rewrite them. 4x squared plus 23x minus 16 divided by x plus 5. Why don't you guys try this one on your own? Here you go. I don't know the answer. I got to work through it. I had better things to do than to memorize the problems last night. I'm not too lazy. I'm going to do the work. How was that lazy? In case you messed up, follow along. That way you can see where you messed up. Follow along. I'm going to do it. Relax. X times what gives you 4x squared? 4x times x. 4x times 5. Change your signs. 3x minus 16. Start again. When you multiply x by to get 3x. Positive 3. 3 times x. 3 times 5. Change your signs. That was a pop can like exploding behind me. On this case, could I have just wrote a minus here? Yes, this one I could have, because there's only the one term up top. So I could write minus 31 over x plus 5. Either way is fine. I don't really care. No, it doesn't affect the denominator. Right. All right. We feeling okay? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for the last different, how do you know it's remainder?
It's if there's no x on it, it's for sure a remainder, but sometimes it has an x on it. For sure done. Yep. But it could have an x.
Well, I know that.
Like if this was an x squared and that was only like an x, I can't turn an x squared into an x. Do you know, does that make sense? Okay. You just opened a whole other can of worms. All right, here we go. You like this long one?
Yeah, let's do it.
We can do this. We can do it. I know. Guys, it's asking a question. Is x squared plus 1 a factor of that big polynomial? How do you tell? You divide. Very nice. Guys, your classmate Bree is very intelligent over here. She just said, if there is no remainder, then it is a factor, right? It means it divided nicely. But if there's a remainder, then it's not a factor. That means you have to divide it to find out. I need to be excited about that. All right, you got work through it. All right, here we go. Are you explaining or am I? Okay, here we go. What do you multiply x squared by to get 3x to the fourth? 3x squared. Distribute. Right. Next is to change your signs. I just cross it out. There you go. All right, so that cancels. Be careful about your like terms. Notice they actually don't line up here. You have x squareds that go together, but they didn't line up that way. Good. So we have negative 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 5. All right. So So what do you multiply x squared by to get negative 4x cubed? Negative 4x. And distribute. How's she doing? Good. Change your signs. Jesse, stop. Where did you get confused on? All right. Where can you stop for just 1 minute, hon? Right here, like where she went from here to here. Notice these are your like terms are here. So you didn't have another cube, so that just came down with you. And then your x squared, 12x squared minus 3x squared is 9x squared. She looks very confused, but she's not really saying anything. What did you have? Did you find it? Did you find it? Okay, all right. Whew, okay. Boys. Not a thing. Kinda. It is a lot shorter. All right, guys, take a look at what she's got going on. If you're not got the same things going at the top as she does, we definitely got a problem. That'll do it. Yes, it looks correct. It doesn't take much to mess up on these because if you miss one sign, it's wrong. If you don't notice your like terms, it's wrong. I mean, yeah, that looks great. So the answer is no. Yeah. Asking, is it a factor or not? No, it is not. That's disgusting. Guys, so one thing you need to be aware of on these, take your time, write nice and neat, be careful of your like terms, okay? I'm going to go ahead and work through the next one with you guys just because there's so much. I hope so. Question, yes. That would be like about a 4-point question where I would have 2 lines for you to fill in your answers. One for you to actually do the division, and then I'll ask you, is it a factor, yes or no? You'd say no. So you'd get one, probably maybe 1 point for the no, but you would lose all the points for the actual division. All right, so is x minus 2 a factor of that? So x to the 5th minus 32 divided by x minus 2. Now, some students find it helpful to put in the zeros. So some people might prefer to see your x to the 5th plus 0x to the 4th plus 0x to the 3rd and so on and so forth. Some people prefer that. I personally don't, but it is an option if you're worried about your like terms not lining up. Because then when they multiply, the like terms are always in line. Yeah. Me personally, whatever. But some people like it. So what do you multiply x by to get x to the 5th? So we get x to the 5th minus 2x to the 4th. Change your signs. This cancels. These are not like terms. So we have 2x to the 4th minus 32. Let me start again. 2x cubed. Multiply. You get 2x to the 4th and negative 4x cubed. Change your signs. Not like terms again. And we start over. When you multiply x, 4x squared. Multiply. 4x cubed minus 8x squared. Change your signs. So that gives us what? 8x squared minus 32? Just a little bit. All right, what do you multiply x by? 8x. All right, multiply. Get 8x squared minus 16x. Change your signs. 16x minus 32. Well, what do you multiply x by? 16. Multiply. Minus 32. change your signs.
I did it right.
Is it a factor? Yes.
I did it right.
Yes.
Wait. Can you now actually factor that?
So,
Yeah, these are facts in terms of God can actually be divided the same exact thing.
he wants me to actually take this and factor this and get this without doing this process.
That's not gonna happen. She can do it, but
All right, so the other part of this, if so, write it as a product of two factors. It's just asking you to write it in factored form. So the x minus 2 and then all of that.
all of that.
I'm going to run out of space here. Or x squared plus 8x plus 16. It all kind of fell in there. So that's what it was asking for that part. All right, so this is long division. So do we understand the process? When you understand, we need to be careful.
Take it slow.
That's yes, take your time.